Hey guys, it's Jen. Welcome back to my channel and welcome back to another video. So if you're new to my channel, welcome. I'm a full-time working mom and I have two kids who are 10 and 7. And I also have a dog, Murphy, and whenever I start filming, he comes out here to see what I am doing. One of the most common questions that I get on my channel, since I share a lot of cooking videos, is how I take care of my butcher block countertop. My husband and I built our house several years ago, and we did a custom build, and so we got to choose everything. One of the things I knew that I wanted was a butcher block counter so that I could prep and cook food easily in the kitchen since I cook so much. And so instead of answering everyone's questions individually on each one of my videos, I thought it would be helpful to just film a video concerning my butcher block counter, how I clean it, how I take care of it, and all the details associated with that. In case you are looking for one in your own home, maybe this will answer some questions for you. Okay, so here is just an overview of my kitchen. I do have a rather large kitchen, and I did it this way on purpose because I love cooking and I love being in here. And so you can see that our island here in the middle is butcher block. The rest of our countertops are actually quartz. And so we ended up getting this butcher block counter from, I believe it was Lowe's or Home Depot. I can't remember which. All we did was measure and tell them the size that we wanted it to be, and they custom made it. We picked it up and the builders installed it. So this butcher block counter is about 8.5 feet long by 3 feet wide. On this side, there's enough room for 3 bar stools here. There's an overhang. There's also an overhang on this side, and then under here is where I keep all of my cookbooks. I wanted to make sure that I could have, you know, at least 4 chairs around the island. My kids do sit out here a lot and talk to me while I'm cooking or do their homework, different things like that. So regarding the actual butcher block, I believe that it is maple. And I actually have not touched it just so I could give you guys a real look at some of the stains and things that are on it. But this is sort of an overview of what it looks like before I clean and condition it. So one thing I'll say about having a butcher block counter is that it's probably only going to look perfect the first week that you have it in your house. If you're someone that's really concerned about not having marks or small stains or things like that, then a butcher block is probably not for you. The whole character of butcher block is that it sort of gets worn over the years. You're gonna have knife marks on it. You might have stains on it, like if your kid spilled grape juice or something like that. You can mostly get the stains out, which I'll show you here in a little bit, but just something to note, if you're a person that's like highly concerned about that, I would not choose this. Personally, that kind of stuff doesn't bother me if it looks worn. The other question I get a lot is how do I sanitize it? I don't put raw meat on it at all. The only thing I'm chopping on here is fruits and veggies. If I chop any kind of meat or raw meat, I'm using a rubber or plastic cutting board that I can obviously put in the dishwasher and sanitize. And so just, you know, to answer that question, I don't chop raw meat or anything like that on it. I'm not sure if I'm going to get everything to show up on camera since the wood is a light color, but I'll try my best. So down here is actually where I stand and do most of my chopping. So if you've ever seen a cooking video, you probably see me standing right here and chopping right here. That's because our pull-out trash is down here, and so it's just easy for me to stand here and then, you know, scoop my scraps into the trash. So you can probably see that there are cut marks on counter from my knife, and that's just something that you have to live with when you have butcher block. You can see over here that maybe one of the kids spilled some juice or something. This looks like maybe oil from, I don't know, a dish or something, some food. And then down here, there's some spots, there's some crumbs. This might be like orange juice or something. Maybe one of the kids like got into the fridge and got some orange juice and poured it for themselves and spilled it. Some crumbs, and this isn't obviously in too bad of shape. I just kind of wanted to give you an overview of what it looked like before I showed you how I clean it. Okay, so these are the supplies that I use. So to clean the butcher block, I actually just use a regular microfiber cloth that I get really wet with super hot water, and then I just use like a mild all-purpose spray. Typically I have the Mrs. Meyer's spray. Right now I have the Acorn Spice scent out since it's fall. So, and you'll see this in a little bit, but what I do is just spray it on the butcher block and then scrub it really well with a hot rag. That gets up most of the stains. If there is a stain that won't come up, what I do is I cut a lemon and use that to scrub some salt into the stain, and the lemon juice and salt does help get the stains out. And then to condition the butcher block, which you want to do probably every 2 to 3 months. This is a food grade mineral oil, and it's Howard brand. You can find this on Amazon, so I'll link it down below, but you can also find this at like home supply stores, hardware stores, and this is also something that you can use on cutting boards also to condition them. And so what I do is I just take a microfiber rag this is from the Dollar Tree, and I rub the butcher block conditioner into the counter with this. I'll put several coats on, and then what I usually end up doing is just throwing this away just because it has oil in it and I don't want to mess with washing it. And since it's from the Dollar Tree, it's like 25 cents. So these are the supplies that I use. What I'm going to do first is do just a thorough wipe down with a hot rag, and then we'll see what stains we're left with. I'm done wiping everything, and you can see I have a little bit of a stain right here that didn't come up when I did the regular wiping. So what I'm going to do is just cut a lemon, and then I just squeeze some of the juice on the stain. I sprinkle some coarse kosher salt, and then you basically just use the lemon to scrub that until it's clean. Now, I will say that this doesn't get out 100% of stains. I think over time, especially if there is a stain, it will lessen. But like this, I can see right now that I'm probably not gonna be able to get it all out, which is fine. This will work to remove some stains. Bonus is that it smells really good too. So see, like that didn't really, I mean, I guess it lessened it a little bit. It didn't totally take it up, but I'm fine with that. There's another stain over here. This looks like, I don't know if you can see it, maybe someone set down a drink or something and it had some kind of a black rim on the bottom. I have no idea. Who knows what happens around here. That worked a little bit. So I'm just gonna see if there's any other spots that need that, and then we can work on the conditioning step. The other thing I wanted to mention is that if you have any smells in your butcher block, like from cutting up onions or garlic or anything, you can also rub it with a cut lemon and that will help deodorize it. I always do that in this section right here, since this is where I'm chopping the most. And so sometimes, you know, you can get a little bit of an onion or garlic smell or something. So I just scrub that down with a cut lemon. So I have my butcher block conditioner here, and I have my old rag. And so what I'm going to do is just squirt a generous amount into the top of the counter and rub it in with this dry cloth. And then I will probably let that dry, not dry, but like soak in and absorb, and then do 1 to 2 more coats. All right, so I have my mineral oil soaking in. I'm not sure if you can tell on camera, but, well, you probably can because I think I can see it, but the wood is a little bit darker than when we started because the mineral oil soaks into the wood and makes it a darker color. So this is one coat. I am gonna probably let this soak in for about 15 minutes, and then I'm gonna do one more coat and I'll show you what it ends up looking like. Okay, so here is what it looks like after 2 coats of the mineral oil. You can see that it's still got a little bit of soaking in left to do. I will probably let this sit for an hour and a half before I put anything on it or chop anything on it, but that is basically it. So super simple. I love having butcher block. I love that I can just chop right on it and prep my food. I also really like aesthetically how this contrasts with like the white cabinets and the dark floor and the rest of the white quartz. All right, friends, so that is it for today's video. I hope this answered some questions for you on how I clean and condition my butcher block countertop. If there are any questions that I did not answer in this video, please leave them in the comments below and I'll be happy to answer them down there. Thanks for watching and I'll see you in my next video. Bye.